everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leighanne and I talk about books. Today we're doing another book tag. I was tagged by Jess and Christina over at Game of Tomes. They are super awesome, so definitely check them out. I will link their channel in the description for you. So today we are doing the Goodreads tag. Goodreads is one of my favorite websites. I haven't done this tag before, so I'm excited to do it. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Number one is, what is the last book that you marked as read? And for me, that was Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I'm hoping that I'm saying that name right. You guys know how I am with names. I'm pretty much the worst. This was actually a reread for me, part of my retro reads challenge, as well as part of my diversity challenge for 2017. And it definitely held up to the reread, so I was really excited about that. Number two is, what are you currently reading? So I am actually reading 3 different books right now. I tend to do this sometimes. Usually it's only 2 books. Usually it's 1 audio and then 1 physical book or ebook. Right now I'm in the middle of 3 books. I'm not really 100% sure why I decided to pick up a second book. I did this once last year. I'm not really sure why I decided to do this, but I am currently listening to Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk on Audible. I am physically reading If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, and I am also physically reading The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan, which is part of the Heroes of Olympus series. So number 3 is, what book did you last mark as to read? And that book for me is actually Love Lies Beneath by Ellen Hopkins. This was a gift from my sweet husband, so it wasn't on my list because it wasn't a book that I was really aware of until he actually brought it to me. So that's why it is the latest on the list. Number 4 is, what do you plan to read next? If you guys have watched my channel for any period of time, you know that I don't really make TBRs for myself just because I get stressed out by those. I feel like if I have to read a certain book sometimes, like especially lists of books, it's a list of books that I don't like. I'm like, oh God, I have to get through this. And I don't know, it just kind of takes the fun out of it for me. However, for that reason, I do not have anything like super planned out. I just kind of pick up what I feel like picking up. However, I will be doing a buddy read of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I'll be doing that with Jess and Christina from Game of Tomes as well. So I'm really excited to pick that one up and to actually like do a buddy read because I've actually never really done one before. So super excited about that. Number 5 is, do you use the star rating system? And I do for the most part. I use the star rating system on Goodreads, and then I also use the star rating system whenever I go through and do like my monthly wrap-ups and things like that. One thing that I have not done is I haven't posted an actual book review on this channel yet. I think the reason that I haven't done that is just because I'm afraid that I'm not gonna be able to articulate what I want to articulate. I don't know if I would use the star rating system when actually reviewing a book on this channel. I'm kind of toying around with the idea of doing a review, but I'm not sure. If that's something that you would want to see from me, like comment below and tell me how you feel about it, just as a side note. But okay, moving on. Number 6 is, are you participating in the 2017 reading challenge? And yes, I am. I have set a goal for myself of 75 books, which is really ambitious considering last year I only read 44. However, I read 44 between May and December. So those first 5 months didn't even count. So I feel like this goal is like totally doable for me, especially with the amount that I've been reading. I set a goal of 6 books a month for myself to really like get to that level. And I'm pretty sure that I've already surpassed that this month. So there's that, but yeah, so that's what my goal is. Number 7 is, do you have a wish list? And I do have a wish list on Amazon actually. And that wish list mostly consists of specific editions of books that I would like to acquire. So like, for example, right now there's a lot of those cloth bound, I don't know what publisher they come from, I can't remember, but the cloth bound classics that are really pretty. There's a ton of those on there. As well as some box sets of things that I don't physically own that I really would like the Harry Potter series. I only have 2 of those books in physical format because I don't know what happened to the rest of them in between my mom's house and, you know, when I moved in with my husband, you know, as well as just a bunch of other stuff. So they're things that I'm kind of collecting, you know, as time goes on. So there's that. Number 8 is, what do you plan to buy next? So I actually recently put myself on a book buying ban, because if you guys saw my latest book haul, which I'll put an info card up there for you if you haven't, I bought a lot of books over the last 2 months between Christmas and my birthday, and getting gifts and actually buying them from like Book Outlet and Book Depository and my used bookstore. I've acquired at least 30 books in the last month. So, and then cataloging my books, I have way too many that I haven't read, so I'm going to really start trying to focus solely on the books that I own for my TBR, with the exception of the books that I need to fulfill requirements for my Diversity Reads Challenge for 2017, Diversity Bingo, because I don't own a whole lot of diverse books. I don't know any off the top of my head that I'm going to be purchasing, because there are several categories that I need to research and really find books that meet those requirements, but those are going to be the books that I'll be buying versus, you know, just like normal releases or whatever. So number 9 is, do you have any favorite quotes? And if you do, share. I do have a lot of favorite quotes, and I've actually shared one of them on a previous video. It was a previous book tag I did, the Sisterhood of the World tag, which I will also put an info card up for you guys if you want to watch that one. I read out a quote from The Stand in that one of my favorite book quotes of all time, so I won't repeat that one. But the other one that I will use is a quote from Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane. And that one is, actually, scratch that, I'm going to make that 2 because they're both from The Ocean at the End of the Lane, and I love both of these very much. I do not miss childhood, but I miss the way I took pleasure in small things, even as greater things crumbled. I could not control the world I was in, could not walk away from the things or people or moments that hurt, but I took joy in the things that made me happy. I feel like that just speaks a lot to life, and you know, you just can't control the world around you. However, you have to actually make an effort to not let those things drag you down and really focus on the positive and the good things in your life. And the second one is, grown-ups don't look like grown-ups on the inside either. Outside, they're big and thoughtless, and they always know what they're doing. Inside, they look just like they always have, like they did when they were your age. Truth is, there aren't any grown-ups. Not one in the whole wide world. And I also feel like that is very true. I see all over the internet all the time, like, I don't know how to adult. I don't, you know, and I don't know how to adult. I'm not a very good adult. I'm pretty much just flying by the seat of my pants 90% of the time. And, you know, I feel like it's also really important to maintain being a kid at heart, because I feel like if you don't do that, you lose all joy in the world. Because especially with all of the ugly things that are happening, which I can't even think about because it makes my heart hurt. But moving on, number 10 is, who are your favorite authors? I have a lot of those. My favorite authors, well, I don't want to say a lot. My favorite authors off the top of my head, Stephen King, like you all didn't freaking see that one coming. Philippa Gregory, Ellen Hopkins. Those are just 3 that come to mind off the top of my head. So yeah, there's that. Number 11, have you joined any groups? And I'm actually part of several groups on Goodreads. I'm part of Top 5 Wednesday. I am part of the Retro Rereads Challenge. I am part of the Dark Tower Project 2017, which is hosted by Emily Kate. I am part of like a horror group, a Stephen King group, and a couple of other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. So there's that. And the last one is, how many shelves do you have on Goodreads? So I have a number of shelves, and most of the shelves that I have are actually dedicated to my reads by year. I also have a shelf dedicated strictly to books that I've listened to on audio. I have a shelf that is strictly dedicated to diverse reads, and I have a shelf for DNFs. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So those are all the questions for the Goodreads tag. I hope that you learned something about me. If you have not done this tag and you're watching this video, consider yourself tagged. If you like this video and want to see more, definitely make sure that you give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!